Yes, yes.
It's going to be hard for me to get this out, Barry. I've been doing something for a long time, and it's a habit I've stopped recently, which you know about.
I've been doing something for a long time, and it's a habit that you know about, Barry.
And I'm working very hard at it.
I'm working very hard at getting rid of this. Do you want to tell us what it is?
Yeah, I've masturbated.
Masturbation, yes, that's right, because that's no sin, is it? That's no sin.
Right. Okay. And I said, when I first came to see you about 6 years ago, that I was going to stop doing it.
When I came to see you about 6 years ago, I was going to stop doing it. I remember that. My habit, yes.
Yeah, and I haven't, and I've actually
I lied to my partner about it.
Right. Now, I find it difficult not to look at women sexually.
I find it difficult not to look at women sexually.
It's a habit I've had for a long time.
It's a habit I've had for a long time, and don't worry, you're a member of the club, and there's unlimited membership.
And it is really difficult. Whenever I see a woman, like a teenage girl, let's say, with very short skirts, and they do wear them incredibly short.
They wear them incredibly short just for you.
Most of the time I don't look anymore, because I know that it excites the thing inside me. And once it gets excited, it's throwing up images one after another.
Most of the time I don't look now, but I do know that if I do, this excitement comes into me and starts to throw up all sorts of sexual pictures. Yes, I understand.
No, I think the reason I'm telling you is because I just want to have it out in the open.
The reason I'm telling you is just to have it out in the open. Well, I'll respond to you. You ready? Yeah. You see, that's not the problem of looking at the girls with the short dresses and having sexual thoughts about, or sexual, that psychic tongue comes out, you know? And that psychic tongue has got imagination of what he'd like to do to her, although it's not overt necessarily what he'd like to do to her, or how he can excite himself with that psychic tongue, which is invisible, of course. And that's not the problem. You have to start further back. And I think I must have spoken to you about this, about where do I start then to give up my sexual possession, endeavor to sexually possess the women that I see. How do I start giving that up? This is a problem in man. I mean, some women also have it in relation to man, but none of those would be here. None of those women would be here because they're half men. And you see, woman has been made half man and three-quarters man by man himself, so that he can make love to himself in a female body, if he can only get her sexual enough and excited enough. And so woman then becomes half man or three-quarters man psychologically, but not physically. So I have to start at the beginning. I have to start to I've got to choke this thing, remember? This demon can only be got rid of by prayer and fasting. So I've got to fast it out of me, haven't I? I mustn't give it anything to eat. And of course, you said, I've given up looking at girls. So that's a form of starvation, but it's not getting to the root of things. The imagination is the problem. Now, imagination is the devil. I know people are not going to agree with that, but I can demonstrate that. Imagination is the devil in man. And so he has to give up his imagination. Now, he will find that in his ordinary life, he is using his imagination, and particularly sexually, a good part of the day. Now, would that be right? It gets past, you see, because we all use our imagination, we're not aware of our imagination.
It's sort of,
it's very subtle.
It's like I'm looking without, even when I'm not looking, I'm
yes,
looking.
That's right, you're looking.
It's really odd.
That's right.
It's hard to...
Because there's a demon in us, the demon of sex is in all of us until we are able to get rid of it.
It visits me at night. It's quite extraordinary. But during the last 6 weeks, because I've intensely denied it any...
During the last 6 weeks, because I've intensely, in those 6 weeks, denied it any life.
I've had these incredible dreams.
I've had these incredible dreams.
I've even actually masturbated and then woken up and thought, I've not done this.
I've even actually masturbated and woken up saying I have not done this.
Yeah.
But you can see that if you have a torrent coming down of momentum, let's say momentum of habit, and you suddenly put a stopper on it, well, it's going to express itself while you're asleep in some sort of erotic dreams and things, because it's there, just because it's there. So you've got to put a stopper on it right back here. And you've got to stop the imagination. Now, I don't know whether you imagine about tomorrow or you imagine about next week. Most people do. You stop doing a lot of that?
I was going to mention that I actually started, like the woman said about forgetting things, I noticed my memory's gone. I'm seeing people, another thing that's happening is I'm starting to meet people that I know by face, but I can't remember the name or any place or anything like that, that like the past seems to.
Well, perhaps...
coldness towards people.
Well, perhaps that's part of the good work that you've done that is working, but then there's still this momentum of imagination around the sexuality. So, as much as you can, you must not use your imagination. What do you want to use your imagination for? It's imagination, but it's a deep imagination in the emotion, you know. It's not necessarily so much overt that's going on down there. So you have to give up imagining anything more and more. You have to be more in the moment, live in the moment. But it's a troublesome thing to give up.
When do I know that it's gone?
When do you know that it's gone? When you're no longer troubled.
Right.
Yeah, right. And you haven't lost anything. That's the beauty of it. Yes, this gentleman?
A very similar thing with me, in a sense, with the female. But I get like a stab of pain and a yearning that goes with it.
Yes, there's a similar thing with me, in a sense, but I go with a stab of pain and a yearning. Yes, well, that's a different reaction, but it's the same thing, the reaching out, the wanting to possess, and it's purely the need to love. To love. That's right, to love. The only way that gets rid of this demon is to really love. But not love as most of us love. You've got to love and give everything, you know. Have nothing for yourself. You love. And it's a good thing if a man has this sexual a demon, which is in all of us, right? I'm not trying to single anyone out. It's in all of us more or less, is that if he really wants to get rid of it, his one way is to give himself totally and utterly to the love of a woman. Now, he doesn't like to do that, as I mentioned earlier, because he fears his independence is threatened and all the rest of it once you get back here. And there's a lot of giving up to get even back there. But he has to do that, and he has to love her. If he finds a woman that he's attracted to and he loves, then he has to love her. But it means that he's got to give up his anger as well and everything else, and his moodiness, because his love will do that if he only loves her totally and utterly, and almost becomes and says, yes, I will love you, and I will love you through it all, and I will just do whatever I can for you to love you. Now, it might be that the woman is not capable of going to the same lengths as he. She might not, but that doesn't matter, because when it's over, he will leave, or she will leave. But he will have given, you see, in the sense of died for love against his feelings, because his feelings are, well, I don't want to do this, and oh God, I don't feel like making love, and oh God, I don't feel like doing this. That's his feelings. Whereas he gives himself to love. Now, okay, I don't know whether you know another way, but I only know that love is the only way that heals sex. But you can't imagine another woman in the bed when you're making love to this woman. You can't use feelings to stimulate your erection, to keep your erection up, which is what many men do, you know.
It would be nice if we all had your experience with Anne, wouldn't it? It would be much easier.
My experience with Anne? Yes, well, I don't know whether that would be. It'd be easier, I suppose, but I think you've all had it in a way. I loved Anne like she appeared as God to me, because all woman really, and all men is God in female form and God in male form. That's the truth. You know, there's only God, and there's only female body, and there's only male body. And it is God that is the essence of this woman and this man, and that's the end of it. Now, when that was revealed to me by the grace of God, and I was quite young, you know, I was only 30, when that was revealed to me, you know, to love God in a female form is an extraordinary thing, as you can imagine, because it's cosmic.
We can't imagine because
No, that's right. You can't imagine it. At any rate, that's very good. Yeah. But that was done in this body so that I could write about love and all the things that I have written and given to man and woman on this earth. But the trick in it was that I loved her as God, and then, of course, she had to leave me. Well, when you love someone as a human being and with your feelings, you can get over them pretty well. But when you love someone as God, which is true love, which is what your love basically is, really, there's only one thing to do. I got to die. You know, you can't go on living. You just got to die. When the love is so great and it's taken away, or apparently taken, you got to die. And it was as a result of that I went through death, the death band in the psyche. I just could not live without that love. And of course, just on the other side of death is that love. And it's not dependent on any physical form. So the physical form was taken from me so that I would die for love. And when I did die, because I went through the process of actual death, and on the other side of it, when I came through it, I was free. I loved. Didn't mean that I didn't love woman again. I did, and always have loved woman, but I've died. I've died, and therefore that's what enables me to love woman as I have and as I do, because I have died. I've passed through it by the grace of God. You can't bring it about, you know. We can only do our best. This is done, obviously, so that I could write books and tapes and spread the message of love against sex through the world. And that is given to this body. Things are given to you, too. You know, the divine will is working through every body. It is given something of value for the human race in everyone. Even if you never give up and make a speech or anything in your life, something of value is in you. The only thing is that love demands that you give up yourself. The more you give up yourself, the more you are pure love, and the more you can know divine love, which is purpose. And then it is revealed in divine love the purpose of life, that there is no death, for instance, and that it's a great cosmic being that you are. And all those sort of things that just come naturally. You can get that immediately. And so all you can do is live your life. Yes.
I always talk about masturbation. I think it's rather silly. And it reminds me of the Catholic Church and you know, the whole business about it being sinful. I mean, this chap who was worried about masturbation, I would say to him, enjoy it. Don't try and stop it because you can't. It's impossible.
Well, I say that where I come from, that is incorrect. So one of us is...
My experience is impossible.
In your experience?
And in many people, everybody.
In the human condition, yes. Every man would agree, probably, although some mightn't. It is
Why fight it? Why put it? I mean, I'm not going to be in line because I stopped masturbating. It's not going to...
How do you know?
Well, I've tried it.
No, you haven't. You can't try it, you stop.
Well, exactly. I've stopped and then started again. Like many people, stop for a while and then it becomes too much. Why burn? Krishnamurti said, I'd rather marry than burn.
No, that was Paul, wasn't it?
Sorry?
You're better to marry than burn was Paul, wasn't it?
I read that Krishnamurti said it.
Krishnamurti would never talk about... Oh, you mean burning with sex?
Yeah.
Well, men who marry burn with sex too. Doesn't make any difference, they still...
That's what he said anyway.
Yeah, fair enough, okay. Well, I can't agree with you because masturbation is based on sex. And if you go and enjoy it, then you can't enjoy your love life. It's absolutely impossible. Because you
Well,
don't...
I don't think anybody can enjoy their love life. I mean, you've been talking about people being together and how they're, business of compromising and all the rest of it. I don't see how anybody can be together without all these problems which you're talking about. And if they find that they're not being true because of them, then nobody's going to be together. It seems to me it's not impossible to have a relationship on these strictures, on these, I don't know.
Okay.
You're wrong.
Oh, good. I hope I am. I don't know. But I mean, that's where it seems to me.
Yes. Well, that's the basis of my teaching.
Yeah.
That's the basis of it. I better pack up and go home.
I mean, I've been coming to see you all these years, and I love what you're saying. I believe, it's true as far as I can see, and so on and so forth. But I must pipe up and say what I'm saying. Otherwise, I'm just going to bottle it up and talk to other people.
Yes, that is so.
I just want to express what I'm feeling.
It is very difficult to stop masturbation, but it starts with the imagination and then it continues as it gets momentum. And also, it is because I am not loving, but I can't demonstrate that to anyone. I can only say that there is a love where masturbation stops. Now, I can't demonstrate that. And
Which comes first, though, Barry? I mean,
first, the effort to give up thinking about woman's...
the effort, surely.
Pardon?
Should you require an effort, we're told?
Yes. Should you work quite...
It should not require.
Oh, yes, that's a lot of bullshit from Eastern masters, Let me tell you the truth. If I have a momentum going inside of me, which every man and woman has, of fear and self going forward, particularly pushed along by sexual desires, if I have a momentum, there is only one way that I am going to stop that momentum in the first instance, is by using effort, discipline, denying the beast its home, denying it to look at that girl, denying it to smell the woman as she walks past, denying my imagination to ever, when I'm making love, use an image of another woman, denying. That's the only way I can stop this momentum and start to put an end to its speed. Then, when I have stopped it, it is effortless. And so the Master says, you don't need any effort, But I tell you, and you all know what an effort it is to stop thinking. If you don't make the effort to stop thinking, you'll never stop thinking. But then it's not that you stop thinking, it's that you get rid of the source of thought. That's what you do. You start back here at the beginning. And that's more difficult enough, isn't it? With this momentum going, you've got to stop it. You've got to draw the line. You've got to do like that wonderful picture on the front of my latest tape about Beauty and the Beast, the quest of the noble man. You've got to draw the sword and you've got to draw the line and say, no, you will not cross here. Over my dead body will you cross. That's the sort of the will that you have to stop this terrible negativity. I'm not just talking about sex, I'm talking about anger. I'm talking about self-doubt. I'm talking about fear. It's all the same. It all comes from sex and the self, all of it. And you've got to draw it and say, no, And I'll know many times how much I fail, how bloodied I am, how cut I am, how much I failed. I will not judge myself. I will still draw the line. And you'll see me back here next minute drawing the line. Even though you pushed me back and I failed and failed and failed, I'll still be here because you will not win. Well, that's the effort. And my God, if you tell me it's not an effort, the spiritual life, to start with, well, you don't know what you're talking about.